How often do you goon?
I've been gooning multiple times a week since I was 16. It does bring some mental clarity.
Yeah.
I just fucking go to the gym, get back home, eat, and I'm like, fuck, I want to crank when I'm feeling horny. And then and then I hop on fucking stream and I'm fucking firing.
Any person with access to the internet nowadays can see more beautiful, naked 10 out of 10 women than any of the greatest kings throughout all of human history.
Combined, probably.
That's insane.
Wild.
MrBeast. You've gotten to the fucking beast to do an ad.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's insane. You probably can't share how much you paid.
No, I can share. We might have to blur it.
Over 500,000. That's fucking insane. All right. What's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of TSL Time podcast. Today we got a different type of guest, very special guest. We got the App Mafia. We got Blake and Alex from App Mafia. This is the Alex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, this is the new age PayPal Mafia. If you guys have seen the app Cali, Quittr, UMAX, RizGPT, and which was the other one?
Those are the main four.
The main four.
You know, within the App Mafia, we also have the founder of NGL, Bags app, which is the crypto trading app, and then a number of others as well.
Yeah.
And you're 18.
I'm 19.
24.
And these motherfuckers are printing millions of dollars off insane apps that, you know, use AI to really help a lot of young guys look better, feel better, get more girls, quit jerking off, counting their calories. And honestly, I mean, if you haven't seen their ads and their product on social media, you're probably living under a fucking rock because they just did an ad with MrBeast. They're everywhere. They're killing it. And I mean, this is I haven't never sat down with, individuals in tech or in apps, but it's so interesting to me. So I thought, why not bring them on today, ask them some pressing questions about what they've built and understand how the fuck they're doing what they're doing. So thank you guys so much for coming on. How we doing? How we feeling?
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, amazing. Can't wait to get into it.
We've been fans of your podcast and your content for a long time, so we love this sort of tech crossover into your usual content.
Yeah, I think the audience is going to learn a lot about this kind of world of the internet that no one sees. So very excited to share.
Honestly, I think that it's like the most underrepresented industry on social media. Everybody knows about social media marketing and day trading and UGC and drop shipping, but nobody really knows about scaling consumer apps. And it's going to be exciting to share that.
And building them too, which is fucking insane. And I mean, you guys too, your biggest platform, at least where you spend most of your time social media wise, is Twitter.
100%. Right. That's where all of the sort of tech people are.
Yeah, that's where the tech bubble is. But like, I think our plan over the next 6 months is to bring this kind of concept to the masses with App Mafia and like spread awareness. Like we've done a bunch of news articles and people are mind blown about what we've achieved. But again, like no one in short form really knows who we are. So we're gonna try and break that mold, escape the bubble.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard for the tech guys to get onto like the brain rot algorithm and bind, like we were talking about it before. It's like the methodical thinking versus like this like social media world that we're in now. It's hard to find that crossover, but I think we're gonna do a great job to chatting about that today, which should be awesome. So you just moved to Miami, right?
Yeah, we both did. You
guys live together?
Yeah. We've got the two of us, Zach, Connor, and Hunter.
This is the App Mafia.
This is the App Mafia. And we'll talk more about, exactly what we're doing, but we're planning to launch a course teaching people how to scale apps as we have. To be honest, like we really don't need the money. The main reason that we're doing it is as a lever on our personal brand. We're just going to take all the money and use it to invest into the ops, videography, house, fun events, marketing for App Mafia in order to scale our personal brands, which we'll then be able to use for hiring, distribution, amongst other things for our future businesses.
Yeah. And we're like assembling all the right pieces. Like the house we have is $10 million. Blake
how much you guys paying for that house per month?
$40,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pop. You sent me the picture of the house the other day. Pop a picture of the house real quick. These guys have the fucking compound, and it's near Opelika, right?
It's in Pinecrest. I don't know what Opelika is.
Pinecrest.
And then Blake just bought a Ferrari 296 GTS. Put that up on the screen.
500, about $450K, all cash. So
crazy. Zach just bought a Lamborghini Huracan.
All cash.
Yeah, all cash. I'm gonna get a Lambo very soon.
Yeah, you guys are fucking. This is dangerous. Too much motion.
It is, dude. It's dangerous. It'll be a fun next year.
100%. There's no way we don't go super viral. Like we have all the right pieces. There's just no way.
Yeah, well, the 100%. You definitely have the right pieces. I mean, supercars can get you lots of views for sure. I mean, you guys are already going super viral from like the product standpoint, but yourselves, I think, living all together, having the camera rolling, and then showing more people of like what's going on back there, it would blow my mind if people wouldn't be interested. But with that being said, I want to jump into the apps afterwards, and I want to jump into this course you guys are gonna be building, which honestly it's pretty funny. You're fully transparent on like this is what's gonna fund a lot of our operations now, even though you're already making a ton of fucking money. But how did you guys where did it start for you guys? Like, did you study software engineering? Did you just get into it once ChatGPT came out? Like, what's the background? How did you end up here?
Give your story.
Yeah, I'll give my background. So I went to Tulane. I majored in finance. And I took some CS classes, but like I never really learned how to code. By senior year, I built a college marketplace app. I wasn't the one that coded it. We had a CTO, but I built it with two of my friends at school. And we launched and, it didn't really do anything. Social apps are very hard to scale. I do not recommend building social apps, especially if you're a first-time founder.
Sorry to cut you off. When you say social app, do you mean like an Instagram type of app?
Yeah, an app where social apps are apps where you're interacting with other users on the platform. So this is a college marketplace app. So you could list your clothing or your furniture or whatever it is to sell to other students on campus. The thesis there was like people aren't really using Facebook anymore. I didn't even have a Facebook account. So most people didn't want to use Facebook Marketplace. So there were these GroupMes where guys and girls are buying and selling used items. So we launched that senior spring, and it kind of flopped. We got some users, but like we weren't making any money. And the summer's coming around. I graduate, and I'm like, man, I got to figure out how to make some money. My parents don't have too much. And so I moved back home. My brother's giving me loans for groceries. I'm like, all right, what can I build? And at the time, AI had just come out, right? ChatGPT came out in November, December 2022. And I had become obsessed with it. And so we were thinking about relaunching this college marketplace app in the fall. But I'm like, I don't really feel it. Like, gut is telling me no. So I'm scrolling on social media, and I find this niche, which is like people showing off their Riz on dating apps. And immediately it clicks. I'm like, holy shit, there's a perfect opportunity here to build an app that helps guys on dating apps. I had a roommate that's always using Hinge and whatnot, being like, yo, what should I say to this girl? And it was obvious to me that ChatGPT could provide the response. So I started to go search it up on the App Store. And there aren't really any apps that are doing it successfully. So I started talking to ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, I've got this idea. How do I will it into reality? It's telling me, okay, you're going to want to use Swift UI. Here's how you set up an API call to ChatGPT. Here's how you do all these different things. And this was kind of like the early stages of vibe coding. Vibe coding is a very popular term nowadays, but there wasn't Cursor. There weren't these IDEs that were specifically designed for it. It was just me talking to ChatGPT, learning about how to code, and then pasting that into Xcode, which is the code editor. Ended up building this product within a few weeks. We launched and went fucking nuclear off the jump. $80,000 MRR, so it's monthly recurring revenue within about 3 days. Within 3 months, we're doing $250K a month.
And the boys are getting laid.
Boys are getting laid. Boys are making a lot of fucking money. We're all just like mind blown. We're like, what the fuck is happening right here? We had never had any real success.
Yeah, I feel like you stumbled upon like a brand new industry.
Brand new industry.
Like, and the first.
The first.
And
honestly.
it's because ChatGPT launched November of 2022. And the day that shit came out, you were already having these conversations with it.
So I was talking to ChatGPT, but by the time we launched this product, it was like June, right?
Okay, so about 5 months later.
I'd been using ChatGPT, like learning how it actually works. So I'd kind of had like some understanding of its capabilities and limitations, which made it a lot easier for me to learn how to code with it. Fast forward to the summer. So we launched, goes nuclear. We ended up renaming to Plug AI. So if you search it up now, it'd be named Plug AI, not RizGPT.
Why did you do that, by the way?
Lawsuit from a company that had already been using the term Riz, but they had like no traction, they just started copying our marketing techniques. But quick summary here, like the reason that we were able to go so viral was we took the drop shipping sort of organic content strategy using these sort of underground influencers, UGC, whatever it may be. We applied it to AI apps. Around this time, we start to flatline at $250K a month. I see the Looksmaxing start to take over. And I'm like, holy shit, here's another opportunity. The vision API, so the ability to analyze an image, was about to come out. So I built the entire app where you can take a picture of your face, get ratings and recommendations on how you can become more attractive. Second, the vision API drops, I plug it in, we launch, we rip. And then I think within about a month and a half to 2 months, we're at $700,000 in monthly revenue.
That's outrageous. I mean, just give or take like the margin on these.
Yeah.
Because don't you have to pay a large fee to ChatGPT for using their data?
No. The API costs are marginal. It's mostly Apple takes 30%. Influencers are generally around 30 to 40%. And then, team as you begin to scale. But every app that I've built has been greater than 30% profit margin. So, it's like $700,000 a month in revenue, but we're taking home over $200K a month in profit.
Yeah. So from RizGPT, helping guys put a screenshot of their Hinge conversation or Tinder conversation, to then getting guidance on how to approach the next message with the girl, to then seeing that this Looksmaxing is going crazy on TikTok and Instagram, and everybody wants to look better with their fucking, what's it called, the jawline and the eyebrow thing, the mewing.
That was massive.
The mewing, the fucking, what was the mewing? You put your tongue to the top of your mouth?
Yeah.
The mew. I think I went like 30 minutes once mewing. I'm kidding,
I can tell.
Wow, that's so crazy. I mean, dude, because to be honest, I would get pretty pissed sometimes, like with some of these like Looksmaxers and shit. Because I was just like, bro, Jesus Christ, like, just go to the gym and eat healthy and fucking sleep facing up and drink water, and like you'll probably start looking better in 2-3 months.
If you look at the recommendations that we provide in the UMAX app, if you scan your face, you'll see the recommendations. It's pretty much like eat healthy, go to the gym, drink more water, wash your face. We're not recommending these crazy fucking techniques. Like,
of course.
We don't talk about mewing in there. We're not talking about bone smashing. We don't recommend hormones. None of that. Dude, people perform
bone smashing,
bro. So that you take a hammer and you like
Are
fucking
you
hit your
serious?
cheekbone to supposedly stimulate bone growth. People are performing self-surgery. I've never done any of that. I've never recommended any of it. That's not why I built the product.
And that's the most interesting thing to me, is that there's like a million fucking kids out there who are just like, let me Looksmax, let me bone smash, let me quit jerking, let me do all this different shit. And then you're like, oh, look at that big ass fucking apple to pick.
Yeah.
How can I make a product that's gonna fucking do this for everybody? And I'm sure, and we're gonna talk right now about that how you got started as well.
Yeah,
that's fucking insane. But so sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
So then we go to UMAX.
Yeah, so I'll finish off this story pretty quickly. So UMAX starts hitting. I get a DM from a 16-year-old at the time, Zach Yadagari. He saw RizGPT and UMAX. He's like, dude, I love your apps. I want to build something with you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll stay in contact. I keep talking to him. I'm like, holy shit, this kid's a wizard. So smart, so mature. Sold a website for over 100K at the age of 16. And eventually he sends me a list of ideas. He's like, let's build something. And I see the AI calorie tracker. I'm like, that's the one. So we build Cal AI together. Cal AI wasn't as like immediate success as RizGPT and UMAX, but man, the ceiling has been so much higher. Now today we're at over $3.5 million a month in revenue, helping millions and millions of people lose weight. Just did a MrBeast episode. But to go back a little bit, right after we launched, Alex and Zach met each other. And I think this is where Alex can kind of take over on his side.
Yeah. I mean, I'll kind of build my story off of that.
Of course.
So about a year and a half ago, I was completely broke. And I was traveling the States trying to get inspired, trying to make shit happen. I was in San Francisco, didn't enjoy it. I was like, okay, fuck it. I've got no money. I might as well just fly to Miami. Let's visit the States and start like ticking things off my bucket list. So I fly to Miami.
At 18.
Yeah, 18. I had, I think, maybe $500 left in my account. I sneak into this hotel called the Fountain Blue. I'm sure you know the Fountain Blue. While I was there, I was like, okay, bro, like I'm alone. I've got no money. And I'd see this like really fat kid walking around, like wearing chrome hearts. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to approach this guy. So I start walking up to him. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, should I approach him? Like, should I just save face and walk away? Or should I just approach this like random American kid that looks like a fucking bully, whatever. I decide to approach and I go, sup boys, like you guys want to get dinner? Like, what are some good places? In that group was Zach Galagari.
To get real quick, Zach was not the fat kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Zach was not, the fat kid was a friend of Zach, but Zach was in that group. And then, yeah, like they were very kind to me. They were about to leave the pool. Like someone delayed it by 2 minutes, but if they didn't delay it by 2 minutes, I would have never met him and I would never be here today. So it's a pretty crazy story. But anyways, we went out to a steakhouse, Smith and Walensky. We started talking about startups and businesses and stuff like that. We kind of connected on that level because there was no one else our age kind of doing that stuff. I lied to him and said I was a Teal fellow.
A what?
A Teal fellow. So Peter Thiel is a founder of
PayPal. Yeah.
And then he has a foundation, and then I lied. It's like a very low acceptance rate, and I said I was part of it.
So before that though, like what was your background though with business and everything like that to get you like to even know about like Peter Thiel and like the fellows and all this stuff?
Yeah. So I've always wanted to build things, and you know, I'm from the UK, and of course, like people aren't really entrepreneurs out there. They're very closed-minded. I ended up taking a trip to New York when I was 17 on my own and was like, okay, holy shit, this is like the real life. I need to be out here. So I dropped out of school, started learning about startups. I tried to raise $100 million pre-seed for my first idea. I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm going to be a billionaire. I was on this earth for a reason. I'm going to raise $100 million. I'm going to compete with Facebook. I'm going to build the WeChat of America. And it flopped.
That's awesome. Though. Fucking dream big, you know?
Yeah. And then I was very humbled, did my tour, ended up in Miami, met Zach. And then, so this is what happened. This is funny, but I don't know if you know this. So me and Zach started talking a lot more. He started telling me about you. He was like, yo, there's this guy making 200K a month. Like, he's fucking crazy. His name's Blake Anderson. It's like, you know, the UMAX app, he's printing cash. And I was like, what? 200K a month? And yeah, like that kind of went on for a bit. They ended up working together, launching Cali. And then I think they made 40K, 100K. And I was like, holy shit.
And it was just doubling month over month.
Yeah.
First month, 50K. Second month, 100K. Third month, 200K. 400K. And it was like every month we just doubled and doubled and doubled.
Exactly. But so this is why it hit me the most, because I was with Zach at the fucking beginning. Like I saw this shit go from nothing to something. And I was like, I can do this too. Like I genuinely can. So I used that as proof it's possible and then launched Quittr, which helps guys stop jerking off and stop watching porn. We have 1 million downloads now. We do $500,000 a month. So wow. Yeah, like
that's fucking insane.
Zoom forward a year, it's crazy how much it's changed.
Yeah. I think like the thing that like really just intrigues me so much is that like the internet has painted this picture that like, I mean, and it makes just sense. There's so many fucking scammers out there. There's so many kids who are just like actually renting the cars and actually getting the Airbnbs in Brickell and like actually fucking just lying about everything. But then there's like a pool of like fucking killers who are like, you're actually in your early 20s and you're actually making millions of dollars a month. And like you guys, you know, are part of that pool. You know, my friend TJR, of course, I've never spoken to Brez, but he's doing it. There's a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
And there's ways to do it. And it's fucking crazy. So like that's nuts.
If I can, before I cut you off, Blake, I think there are a very small pool of people that are actually making money while also contributing to society. I don't think crypto is very impressive at all. I don't think course selling is very impressive at all. I do admire how much traction they've built in their personal brands, but like I feel like we're like some of the only people that actually are doing something big, and real and tangible. It's
very, very egotistical, but like I'd have to agree from the perspective of, you know, how many of these people that are making money online outside of the sort of social media bubble can say that millions, if not hundreds of millions of people are aware of and use their products, you know? And this isn't to talk shit on the people that haven't built, you know, verifiable, legit companies that many people are using. Because I do think that anyone that's participating in the economy is generally actually adding to it. I'm a big believer in capitalism, but like, our shit's so verifiable. It's like you can search up the revenue. There are public databases such as Sensor Tower. You can go up and you can search up our companies. You can see how much we're making. We're fucking MrBeast videos, you know? Like, I don't think that you can always say the same about people that are, you know, maybe have like these sort of like back end social media marketing agencies where it's all smoke and mirrors and you don't actually know, sort of
the info's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like I told you before, like what I read online. Well, first of all, I mean, that's insane. Congrats on the success with Quittr. I hadn't seen those numbers of like 500,000 a month. That's crazy. I saw that Cali did fucking upwards of $3 million a month.
Yeah, over.
In the last month.
Yeah.
And then FitnessPal, that's been around for 16 years, did 13 million in the last month. And that, like, you've been around, Cali has been around for a year, right? So I mean that's just fucking insanity. The level of growth that we're seeing right now. Do you think it's fucked up your perspective a bit on, like, because I feel like slow growth is the best growth, and if there's one thing we've seen with AI is hyperbolic growth. So do you think like you said, you were broke 2 years ago or however long it was, and now your company's doing $500,000 a month, and it's real. And same goes for you. How has that changed your perspective on just how you go about life?
Honestly,
you bought a Ferrari a fucking month ago.
Yeah. I think that the major takeaway I've had is making the correct macro decisions, right? So if we analyze the difference in, sort of a career path that I have taken versus like the route that I could have gone the safe route of getting a job in finance, right? I was a finance major and grinding and slaving away to make, maybe a little bit over $100,000 a year. But instead, I think that I made the better macro decision, which was, okay, AI has created all of this opportunity within the consumer economy as well as enterprise economy, and social media is making distribution easier than ever before. So you can kind of merge these two growing industries and position yourself in a way that the path wasn't obvious when I first started building these apps, but in retrospect, it's extremely obvious. And one of the reasons that we're building App Mafia is because there's still so much opportunity to take AI and help solve people's problems, right? AI just enables us to craft completely new sort of products that were not possible just a few years ago, and to do it as an individual or as a team of two. And I think that it's really impacted the how I view life and the economy. But more than anything, it's indicated to me that you just got to understand the macro trends and then position yourself accordingly. And the upside is near infinite.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, I definitely, just from the last 30 minutes and chatting with you guys before getting coffee, definitely still seem grounded. You know what I mean? Because giving that much money to a fucking young kid can be fucked.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I feel this about the entire group. We're almost very numb to the numbers. It's like there is so much more.
The mission is
huge. I'll share a little bit about me. My end goal is get into politics, or run a country.
In his Twitter bio, since before he was really successful at all, said future prime minister of the UK.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So when you put that in perspective and you're like, $500,000 a month, and then you've got to pay the team, and then
why
you've got to pay for ads.
Why would you want to become a prime minister of a country?
I don't know. Maybe I just like the power, or I feel like I can contribute bright ideas, shape an economy that's extremely tangible. I feel the power of money runs out at a certain point.
I think we all view money as just an abstraction of power and resources. It's just a lever on the ability to do interesting, cool things. It's easy to get hedonistic with it, right? Money enables partying and girls and all this fun shit. And it's great. You should indulge. It's fun. But, I think that as a group, we all share the belief that we're we're not in it for the money. We're in it for the sort of influence.
Yeah. That's interesting that you say power. That's a pretty crazy fucking concept, to be quite honest, of just because you think of control and stuff like that, and then you think of AI, and a lot of times we think of is AI going to get so powerful that it can fucking control us?
Do you think it will?
I don't know, dude. To be honest, it's for me, it's I'm not kidding. I've been pretty pessimistic on society as a whole, as how separated people have become, and how fucked up politics have become, especially here in the US, and just where things are at. I see my cousins at 5 years old, going on an iPad and shit and getting fucked up, and that's not their fault, right? That's their parents' fault and all that. But as soon as ChatGPT launched, and I know, and I'm not a tech guy, and I saw what was happening with AI, it got me so excited. I was this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. I spend fucking 20, 30 minutes talking to ChatGPT every day. It knows me. It knows my content. I can speak to it, and it fucking it's insane. It's insane. Yeah. It's mind-blowing, bro. I feel we haven't experienced something this mind-blowing in so fucking long. True. And I told you guys before, it's one of the when I started Daddy Wellness again in 2023, initially it was because I went on ChatGPT and the first thing I did was ask it, help me make a meal plan. Let me see a workout plan. Like this is going to change the game for people who want to get healthy, which was what changed my life. I did it without AI. You know, I would build my own workout plans.
Dude, it's incredible. Everybody has a personal trainer at their fingertips 100% free. Like I think it is the most amazing technology to ever grace human existence.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So to your point, am I scared or anything like that? I don't know. I'm not going to spend time thinking about that. It's going to do its thing and I'm just going to try and use it to my advantage.
Do you want to talk about the diminishing returns on?
Yeah, like I do think I totally agree with everything you just said. And I think that there's a lot of people are fearful of AI because they're like, well, what's the world gonna look like? What is the political economic state of the world gonna look like 10 years from now when we see this continued rapid progression of AI? But personally, like, you know, I don't think it's as dangerous as most people believe. I think that like the psychological component is very real as individuals become increasingly dependent on it. Like that's something that we're going to have to manage. But in terms of it, like, you know, there's this classic trope or framework in the tech world, which is like P-doom, right? Probability that AI destroys civilization. I don't know. I put that very close to zero. I don't think that it's progressing as quickly as people think in terms of, you know, there's still like these massive problems that we have to solve. Continuous learning, context, right? These are things that humans are still significantly better than AI at. AI in its current form is pretty much commoditized general intelligence. But in terms of like deep tech progression, I haven't seen any data that suggests that it's going to be replacing like human researchers anytime soon.
Yeah.
More as an assistant for them rather than like taking over, self-improving, fucking takes over the world.
We're kind of already at a limit of information that we've put into training the models. I mean, it's already scraped the entire internet. So like we're waiting around for more information. So
synthetic data doesn't seem to be like all that valuable in terms of like, you know, the at the frontier.
Yeah, I want to get into like specifically Quittr and Cali, but before we do that, and you just mentioned, what was that term you used, the doom of AI? Like,
P-doom, probability of doom. It's probability that...
P-doom.
Yeah, P-doom. It's P parentheses doom. If you have taken statistics courses, it's like P parentheses some sort of event is like the probability that this event occurs is equal to, and then some constant value. So some researchers say that their P-doom is 0.30, meaning 30% chance that AI collapses human civilization.
Okay. Yeah, so when you say the word collapse, will AI collapse human civilization? That's a pretty fucking bold way to put it.
Well, this is a serious debate. It's like if the U.S. and China both have super intelligent AI that are fighting one another, what's the probability that they have access to the nuclear codes and then set them off? And then we have nuclear war and fucking everything goes up. Maybe the AI decides that it doesn't like the human race and it fucking wipes out all of our technological infrastructure, destroys the power grids, whatever it may be.
See, that doesn't worry me. I don't think that's going to fucking happen by no means. What I do think, and this is why I want to ask you that, where I really think the damage can happen, is like, let's go back to RizGPT, you know? Socializing and putting yourself out there as a guy, girl, as a human, and interacting with other people is one of the most like character developing things you can do. It teaches you more than probably most things you'll learn in college or anything like that. Having a fucking AI platform where you can ask it to answer everything for you, how to communicate with other people, and people becoming dependent on that, that I think can fucking doom society. So what are your thoughts on that as someone, you know, who's created products around this? You know, what would you argue against that?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, you know, this is a sort of classic argument that we're all familiar with, which is you can't use calculator on the math test because then you're never going to learn to multiply. And I would, you know, generally agree with the premise that we should learn these fundamental skills. And yet at the same time, we still have math teachers to show us and teach us elementary mathematics, right? And I think that the bull argument for AI is that we see something similar with socialization, that a product like RizGPT, we've received feedback from hundreds, if not thousands of guys saying, man, seeing how the AI recommends me to respond and to find the correct level of flirtiness, yet also kindness and charisma has enabled me to produce better responses myself, right? It serves as somewhat of a coach. Now, UMAX, we get similar critique. UMAX, I think, gets a little bit more hate on the basis of the fact that we provide ratings of the individual's face. But we take, or I specifically have taken the precautions to ensure that this inspires action as opposed to creates paralyzing insecurity. So we've created a floor rating of 55 out of 99, and the vast majority of individuals get their overall rating of 70 or above. And then we have their potential score, which is always at least 5 to 10 points higher than that overall. And then we provide recommendations like, if your face looks chubby, go to the gym and, eat calorically less dense foods and wash your face a little bit more. And so the way that I view it is we're democratizing access to higher quality information and coaching so that people can continue to improve themselves. I would never advocate for a world in which everyone is fucking overly obsessed all the time with what their face rating is and all of these different things. But rather I view it as it's a tool for self-improvement and self-development. And we certainly have to balance that with being comfortable in one's own skin. But like I said, with every product that I build, I'm always deeply thinking about how do we inspire action without creating insecurity.
Right. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's definitely a tool, and and like everything, not everyone's gonna. There's always going to be some people who take it too far, and fucking hyper obsess over a certain thing, and are fucking getting on it with ChatGPT 24/7, and maybe they never take that test, because they're so fucking, stuck in this loop of AI. That's at least I would. My brain, I'm skeptical about it. You know what I mean? But I do think, and I hope, I don't know, that more people do use it as a tool to fucking take those first steps to doing things better.
And I think the important component here is education, right? It's even this podcast, for example, sharing the message that you should use it as a tool to accelerate your own growth, and yet at the same time recognize that if you don't internalize a sort of internal locus of control and believe that your life will be an outcome of the choices that you make and not just what is told to you, then you're not going to, if you don't internalize that, you're not going to make that progress. And so, for example, we were talking about this with vibe coding. Are you familiar with the term vibe coding?
I'm not.
So vibe coding is essentially, to some extent, what we do, which is you use AI to help you write code. Now, there's one way to do it, which is you just tell the AI what code you want, and then you paste it. And if it doesn't work, you tell it, redo it, paste it until it works. We don't think that that's the right way to do it. We think the right way to do it is to use AI as your personal coding tutor. Have it explain the principles to you, think about it, understand it, implement it, rewrite the code yourself, and then that will enable you to learn how to code far more quickly than you would without it. But on the flip side, if you just copy and paste, you're not going to learn anything at all.
And this is the approach you took to build these multi-million-dollar apps.
Yeah,
pretty much.
We pretty much taught ourselves to code by talking to ChatGPT and saying okay, explain what MVVM looks like in SwiftUI. Yeah. Explain what proper security systems look like for the backend. Explain what an API call is. Explain what state management is. You read it, you learn it, you implement it, you iterate, you improve, and eventually you know how to code.
There's a lot of fuckheads out there who are probably thinking, oh, ChatGPT code me this app.
Yeah.
And they think that's it.
There's a meme right now. Have you seen the Indian meme? It's ChatGPT code me $1 billion idea very quick, very
and
fast.
Then you press run and you're like, fuck this, AI doesn't work. It's well, obviously it can't just do that.
Back to the note of people not going out and experiencing things for themselves and just expecting AI to do all the hard work for them, and people not being able to build their character. I think that's what social media is doing to people, especially when it comes to dopamine. Instead of going out there doing hard things and getting rewarded for doing the hard things well, they're just scrolling all day, and they get the same amount of dopamine to the point where they just feel numb and they don't want to do anything else, because instead of going out and doing a hard thing, why not just sit in my bed and scroll?
Yeah, or jerk off if you don't want to go get girls.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it parlays into Quittr. It's okay, you could go out to a club or a bar and speak to a girl and do the hard thing and approach and risk embarrassment, or you could just jerk off to any girl you want on the internet. And yeah, you know what's crazy? I had a post go out on Quittr yesterday, fucking 10 years old. Hey guys, I'm 10. I'm struggling. I need help. 10 years old. He's aware enough to download an app to help you quit and pay for it, and then post on it's crazy.
That's insane. And how many users are you guys at now?
1 million downloads, about maybe 250,000 paying users.
That's unbelievable. And this app launched how long ago?
12 months ago now.
And so how exactly are you helping people quit gooning?
Well,
'Cause I'm a gooner, bro. I'm serious. And the thing
how
is,
often do you goon?
dude, I've been gooning multiple times a week since I was 16.
Shit.
And the thing is, for me, is like and I know, and I say it openly because, like, first of all, like, I'm aware, like, pornography is awful for your brain. You know what I mean? That we can all agree on. But, like, at least for me, it's never been like, you know, I work fucking 10, 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like removing like discipline or motivation from me. Like, and I'm not like I'm not like a psychopath where I'm just like spending hours a day doing any of that shit. But like, I've spoken about it before, and I spoke about it with a friend of mine who's a creator as well. Like, it does bring some mental clarity. Like,
Yeah.
like, to be honest, bro, you know?
So do you use it as like a reward for the hard work? You're like, all right, daddy wellness, you've worked fucking hard this week. You get to jerk off. Like,
No, bro. I just fucking go to the gym, get back home, eat, and I'm like, fuck, I want to crank when I'm feeling horny, and then and then I hop on fucking stream and I'm fucking firing. I mean, my whole day, you know, my entire day, waking hour, 99% of it is making content.
what's the longest you spent not jerking off? Have you ever had an extended period of time?
I went like 30 days, bro. I felt pretty good. You know,
Yeah, well, there you
recently.
go.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I'm someone who, like, I don't deny the fucking facts ever. I love to drink tequila. I named this podcast TSL Time Podcast, Tequila Soda Line Time Podcast, because
Big
there's
fan.
nothing. Thank
Yeah,
you.
there we
There's
go.
nothing more than I love than sitting down, having a drink with interesting people, which we can do another day for sure, and having a conversation. But I still acknowledge the fact that is poison, right? Like, jerking off is terrible for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like with everything, I don't strive for perfection. I just try and be very consistently good.
I don't think the optimal human state is one of like perfect optimization all the time. I think that is like a false sort of paradigm, which people are increasingly falling into, the Brian Johnson level degree of. But I will say for them, for example, like, it sounds like you don't have a major problem with it, right?
No.
I'm sure that there are people in the forums that are like, I jerk off 4 fucking times a day. All I can ever think about is pornography.
Yeah.
Right. And every time they open up social media, it's just like straight to the bathroom.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off earlier and start talking about my gooning.
Of course,
fucking,
no worries.
But so you guys are at 1 million downloads, 250,000 users, 500,000 in MRR.
Yeah.
1 year into the game, and you just recently had a 10-year-old talk about how he feels he has a problem already with, you know, edging and gooning and stuff like that. And so how are you measuring these results? Are you really seeing people quitting, you know, this fucking gooning epidemic?
Yeah. Okay, wait. Just before we get to that, little quick thought. Maybe we don't feel guilty about doing it because we are relatively successful. And so there's nothing to feel bad about. But I think the majority of people who haven't got a real purpose in life and then jerk off and they're like, after the clarity, they're left with nothing to show for it. That's when it gets to a pain point.
Yeah,
That's
when
when
I
it
was
becomes a problem.
when I hit rock bottom, it was waking and baking, smoking weed all day,
Yeah,
drinking in the afternoon, and jerking off twice a day.
And-
And I was completely detached from my why, my purpose, my mission, and this fucking mission to like fucking, you know, get after it. And those were the things I was doing. You know? It's very common, you know, the things that people do when they are shitting the bed.
Right.
Dude, I was addicted to, I smoked probably 3+ times a day for 5+ years. And it wasn't until after I stopped that, got everything under control, that I was able to find any level of success. I think that these sort of vices, everyone has their own. For some people, it's smoking too much weed. Some people, it's drinking too much. Some people, it's jerking off too much. I think that is one of the greatest inhibitors of success.
That's very, very interesting.
So talk to me about some of these results. So this is a community. I mean, I looked at Quittr a little bit on the website. It's a community-based app where people come together like addicts type, you know, technically. It's a virtual AA for beating off.
So yeah, essentially,
That's a good one.
yeah, that's good. Like, I think the topic itself is very taboo and like people obviously don't want to talk about it. Like, when you do jerk off, like, you close the fucking door, you close the blinds, you don't want anyone watching you. So it kind of the same with sharing it. Like, you don't want to speak to your friends about jerking off. Like, that's not. So
Yeah, I'm fully open about it.
yeah, you're open about it. So a lot of people aren't. So we're like, okay, like, let's make a community. Let's make an app to actually help people quit. Like, quick backstory. I got into this because I went down the self-improvement rabbit hole. I watched a lot of Hamza. Part of self-improvement is stop jerking off. And that seemed to be like the hardest part for people. Just because it's super accessible, because social media is over-sexualized, because it's free, and because that's like the innate human desire. Like, what was that word you used? The fundamental human
Biological imperative.
Biological imperative.
So really quick, the biological imperative asserts that life exists to continue living and to reproduce. And for many animals, they actually die in the process of reproduction. They will sacrifice themselves for for the sake of having offspring. And I think that, like you're saying, like pornography stimulates that, but it's not that. And if you fall victim to that loop of constantly doing it and feeling like you're getting that level of satisfaction, but you're too afraid to go speak to a girl anytime you're out in public,
Right.
it's like that's when it's completely debilitating.
And that's what porn is. It's like that biological imperative on tap, on demand, whenever you want. Like that's insane. So about the results. So we have a community. People share their streaks, how they're feeling, like how much quitting has benefited their lives. We also give people like special orbs for how long they've stayed clean. So like 90 days, you get a super rainbow orb. And this is displayed publicly. So anyone posting in the community, you can see their streak.
And you can have an anonymous account, obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
you don't have to have your full name attached.
Yeah, I've been anonymous on there for 2 months. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. And then I get emails almost every day. We have 30,000 5-star reviews of people saying this is the best app I've ever found. Like it's changed my life for good. I've had people like come up to me in person saying the same thing. So results are real. I just think having a community of people that are all struggling with the same thing, coming together and being like, all right, we're going to quit together. Super powerful.
I think that's the number one thing with these like community-based apps is just the sense of accountability. It's like I struggled with like anxiety and panic attacks for a long time. I was like I'm super extroverted. You know, I've never had any problems public speaking or fucking getting up and giving a speech in class. But out of nowhere, after abusing weed for many years in high school, I got to college, and out of nowhere, one day I just started having panic attacks. Walking to the cafeteria, I feel like the walls are closing in on me. And I felt like this anxiety was like some rare disease I had. You know, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why do I feel weird when I go into a classroom? It's like, dude, you know how many people fucking struggle with anxiety? It's like
Really?
most people in the world have some sort of anxiety. And so it wasn't until I began to talk about it and meet other people who've dealt with it that I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you're not alone in this. And the same thing goes for fucking this insanity that's going on right now with girls' asses shaking on your screen 24/7 on, like, literally, it's never been easier to look at some cheeks clap on your fucking phone. You know what I mean? And fucking hot ass chicks dancing and doing stuff on your phone. Bro, are you kidding me? Like, I see a fucking girl with a wagon on my Instagram pop up. A lot of times I'm gonna watch it.
Dude,
you
there's
know what I mean?
this-
That's like, dude, as a guy, you know what I mean? It's just like hard to ignore
Yeah,
that.
especially
Dude,
if you got
there's
a lot of testosterone.
There's this
You're
insane
massive.
quote, which is like the average or any person with access to the internet nowadays can see more beautiful, naked 10 out of 10 women than any of the greatest kings throughout all of human history.
Combined,
Which is-
probably.
That's insane.
It's
Like,
wild.
I was thinking about it. Like, imagine like a caveman back in the day.
You give him a fucking Instagram
If you
feed.
gave him
my God.
fucking 30 scrolls on Instagram, this guy would be busting the largest nut of his fucking life.
You
These guys-
forget to eat, dude.
Yeah,
he
these
would
guys-
just fucking all day.
Bro, it would probably be like a shot of heroin,
Yeah.
bro. If they did that
Honestly.
shit. Like, think about like, you know, having to freaking nomad your way through forests and wilderness, and you enter a new village, and like you come across like, wow, like that's a beautiful woman,
Everything's
Yeah.
just firing
and
in
you're
your
just like,
brain.
boom, and now it's just like
Yeah, honestly.
jerk. Like, bro, it's actually so fucking fascinating, bro. That's so sick. That's so sick to see that, like, you know.
I mean, countries are now starting to crack down on this. I don't know if you've seen, like a lot of states in the US have now banned pornography, and you have to verify your ID.
In the UK as well.
Yeah,
you know, my
UK
friend just
have
told me that.
complete- Yeah, you got to be
The crazy
18
thing
plus.
though is like it's like soft core porn that I think really draws the people in, which is on social media. The social media feeds are not one bit, designed to prevent it, right? Whereas
course
like
not.
they block Pornhub, whatever you need ID, whatever it is, but then the feeds, it's like 10-year-olds can just.
And they won't, like Facebook and Twitter, they won't remove it because that gets the most attention.
It's insane
Yeah.
to me, dude. It's insane the fact that they haven't actually cracked down.
But they
on
don't.
it.
They don't want to. Bro.
Of
I mean, it
course
keeps
they
you
don't, 'cause
engaged.
it's just
OnlyFans
retention.
OnlyFans is like, I wrote an essay of that shit in my fucking in my senior year of college, because it's just like, you know, if there's the most free thing online is pornography, right? Is
There's
X-rated
some
videos.
stat where it's like
How the
some
fuck-
insane percentage. It's like I think I know it's a double-digit percentage of all content and all media, images, videos, etc. on the internet is pornography. Double-digit
70%.
70.
It doesn't X videos have the
70%.
most is the most visited website on like the internet, or like top
What
three?
is?
Like X videos, or one of those like
Really?
porno sites.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's like, I have no idea what that website is.
No, bro, and I'll be fully honest, bro, because and I'll speak on it because other people won't. It's just like, dude, you see a really hot girl, like, and you know she's got the fucking link in her bio, and like, you know, you come across her video, and she's like obviously your curiosity spikes. You're like, oh, you want what you can't have. Your brain sees this chick and you want to know what she's gonna look like ass naked.
Right.
And you pay $5, you just see her fucking naked, get your goon out, and then there you go. And like it's insane, bro.
It's
I've done it,
insane.
bro. I've spoken about it. I've seen some bitches and I'm just like, what the fuck? This girl's so hot. Like I need to see what she looks like.
Yeah.
And like obviously it's the worst thing you could ever do, but like even like it's mind blowing, bro.
So where do you think this kind of industry is going? Like, do you think we're gonna start cracking down on this and becoming aware of detrimental side effects of all these things we consume?
I don't know. To be honest, bro, I'm very pessimistic on it. Like I think it's literally survival of the fittest. It's like you need to like you either lock in or you're fucked.
I think the hope is that companies like Quittr, people like Hamza, people that preach this message in the long term win out, because you'll see the individuals that subscribe to that set of beliefs, which is like I should avoid this or I should at the very least control it, and then you'll see the outcome of the individuals that don't. And it'll be clear that the people that can take control of their life are the ones that live the better lives.
Very interesting what you just said.
Well, the reason I say
survival of the fittest.
Well, that's what it is, because listen, bro, 1 million downloads, that's an unbelievable accomplishment. But there is over 100%. A billion people jerking their dick every day. Let me tell you something. Like that's why I'm telling you, survival of the fittest. Those people who are taking the initiative to use the tools to become part of the community, to face their fucking problems and make a change, are the only ones who are gonna fucking be good. But most people aren't doing that shit. Most people are fucking sitting there, especially even like the young kids is what freaks me out the most, bro. Like the young kids is what's scary. The fucking guy who's 40 years old, who has a bad relationship with his wife, who's making fucking a lot of money every year, and he's on OnlyFans tipping a girl fucking a few $100K a year just to see her tits and take her out to dinner. Bro, do whatever the fuck you want. You're down horrendous. But the kid who's fucking in high school, who's hasn't lost his virginity, who's never been in a relationship, who's completely like not in tune with his emotions, and he's gooning to fucking chicks, dancing fucking TikTok songs on OnlyFans, that's a serious problem, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about myself. I'm not worried about my horny ass who got curious about some random fucking chick or some shit. I mean, I own it. But the younger kids, bro, like growing up with that shit, that's where like, what you've built will make a serious positive impact. You know?
Wait, I don't know. That's kind of blown my mind a bit. Survival of the fittest. I think just like in science and biology and all animals, like the strongest survive and reproduce. And that's why kind of evolution exists, right? So
my concern, I think one concern there is like negative birthing rates are a massive issue. And I think pornography will continue to contribute to that. And we're going to see a continuous population. Like the US is a declining population if you less immigration, right? You subtract immigration, you just look at people that are born here, the death rate versus birthing rate, population's declining. And this is occurring in pretty much every Western developed country. Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, listen, bro, I know nothing about fucking, all these crazy like economic statistics and shit, but this is just what like my common sense tells me, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you're on the money.
Right? Birth rate is decreasing fast. There's never been this many gay people. There's never been this many high schoolers gooning to OnlyFans, and there's never been this many hot girls shaking their ass on the internet. This is basic calculus, bro. I failed calculus. I was stoned in calculus, and I could tell you add those four together, and listen. Fact check me. I don't know about this declining birth rate shit, but if that actually is a threat, it's actually happening, then the math is mathin'.
The common sense is in line with the actual data.
And another thing too, I have tons of gay friends. I'm nothing against gay people, but like if you guys want to fucking get after each other, and this birth rate thing's actual problem, I mean maybe I got to pump out a few extra ones to make up the difference.
We all have to, bro. We all have to.
That's cool. Do whatever makes you happy.
Fuck it.
Let us know if we got to pump a few extra out though.
Apparently 1 in 4 Gen Zs are gay. Or part of the LGBT community, which is insane.
Yeah, someone in here is gay.
And I will say, yeah. Damn.
It's very interesting though. It's very interesting. So that's awesome, bro. What are the next steps for? And then I want to get into a bit of Cali, which to be honest, I feel a little bit more,
passionate
and violent against Cali, because I can relate to it a bit more since I'm still a gooner. But but I think this is amazing, bro. I think this is really cool. What are as of right now? And I didn't ask you guys this before.
Yeah.
All of these apps have been bootstrapped and self-funded.
Yep.
Every single one.
Yes.
Yep. No
Dude, we
VC
all
money.
like $3,000, $2,000,
and a few conversations with ChatGPT guiding you how to build $1 million company.
Literally thousands of dollars into cross the App Mafia portfolio, like all of the apps that the founders have built, we do over 70 million a year. And I don't even know if we're counting bags in that. Like if we count bags over their recent growth rate, it's probably 100 mil plus.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just, it doesn't even surprise me. Like, just like, you know, it's just, it makes sense why most people just don't even believe this shit.
Yeah. I mean, the
like,
data's public. Like,
everyone says,
no, and honestly, there's no reason to even get mad about it, but it's actually fucking ridiculous.
Sensor Tower, search up Cali, search up Quittr, UMAX, Plug AI, NGL.
And I think, and then, you know, what we will finish off this conversation, because I think that's the coolest thing, is this course that you guys are building. Because I know anyone who's made it this far into the podcast, first of all, thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and go check out these guys' socials afterwards. But you're going to tell them a little bit about what you're creating in order, if anybody wants to try and do what you guys have done.
Cali first, and then we dive into the App Mafia?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
I want to do that. But before that, I was asking about, you know, self-funded, bootstrapped. What about raising money? I mean, obviously, thus far, bootstrapped. Do you guys, how often are you getting a fucking check from a VC or an offer?
Offers
all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing, like a VC model works best when you're pursuing like deca plus $1 billion outcomes, like tens of billions of dollars in enterprise value. And with what we're doing, it's like the bottleneck is not cash, you know? The core bottleneck is just, you know, the insights and knowledge that you have on the industry, and then your agency to go and make it happen. So, you know, the difference between having $100,000 to start one of these apps and having $5,000, it's very, very low. The difference is maybe just like speed from the start. But in terms of the outcome that you can achieve, pretty much nothing. You don't need it. I think that we will all likely raise for future companies when we pursue those much bigger outcomes. But for the time being, it's like we don't need it.
That's sick. That's just crazy. It just goes to show like the barrier to entry is so much smaller now, and fucking
Agreed.
Sit your ass down on GPT and spend the time instead of just asking it, you know, make me a fucking app and plug it, bro. If you actually fucking put the time to do it.
And I will say as well, I think it's far more impactful to start from zero and grow up than get a $250,000 check and try grow from that.
I mean, dude, there are people that raise millions of dollars for apps where we look at it and we're like, the fuck are you even using $3 million for? You know?
Exactly. You learn so much. I think what we should strive for is education and learning and wisdom. And I think getting a check doesn't really help.
Yeah.
You learn the foundational skills yourself. And then as the company grows, you hire people to fulfill those roles. You start with cash and you just hire people to do it. And you never learn how to do it yourself. And my belief, specifically within this space, I don't think it applies to every company, but within this space, I think you're actually kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you don't learn how to do the thing yourself.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. That's sick. It's actually crazy. I'm so happy I'm getting to learn about it from the fucking sources themselves. Yeah. So now let's get into a little bit of Cali, because I mean, I kid you not, I don't know how much. I mean, first of all, I mean, I don't even want to know how much money you're fucking spending on influencers, because the biggest, like, I mean, MrBeast. Now you've gotten to the fucking beast.
Yeah.
To do an ad.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty cool.
That's insane. Like, I don't know, you probably can't share how much you pay.
No, I can share. We might have to blur it. So I'll
So
start.
I'm saying, can we do like a range here?
Yeah. We can do under.
Okay. Did you pay more than $1 million for MrBeast to promote Cali?
Under
$1 million for
$1
MrBeast
million.
to promote Cali?
Yeah.
Over 500,000. Okay. So between $500,000 and $1 million for MrBeast to do that, that's fucking insane. That just goes to show how fucking successful this app has become. Mm-hmm. Now, you guys have gotten a lot of hate.
A lot of hate.
A lot of sellout allegations for creators who promote Cali, because, I mean, your number one competitor is MyFitnessPal, which is a manual input calorie tracking app that gives you the closest thing to 100%. And as you mentioned, how accurate is Cali?
On average, within 90% accurate for our photo scanning feature, and then the manual sort of food database, which is pretty much the exact same as MyFitnessPal. It's about 100% accurate, right? That's just pulling from the same food database, I believe, that MyFitnessPal uses, pulling the nutrients for when you manually enter. So when you enter 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, it's just pulling from the food database.
So on average, 90%.
Yes.
And how are you guys able to like determine that level of accuracy?
Yeah, so we have a database of images of foods with their verified amount of calories and macros contained within. And then as we update our sort of ML vision model, as well as AI vision, so these are two different things, as we update them and improve them, we're able to see the increases in our sort of accuracy, right? So we randomly select from this food database, we pass it through the new pipelines, and then we see how accurate our vision models are. So for anyone who's unaware, Cali has a few main features, but the most viral one is this image scanning feature where you can take a picture of your food and it will tell you how many calories as well as how many grams of each macronutrient are in your food. But then we also have the food database, which, like I said, is what MyFitnessPal has and what has been traditionally the most popular form of tracking calories, where you enter the ingredients of the food that you're eating or the name. For example, if it's a McDonald's cheeseburger, you just enter McDonald's double quarter pounder, and then it pulls that directly from McDonald's database.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, and I'll be fully honest with you, when I first saw Cali, I was extremely skeptical. As someone who used FitnessPal for many years and understanding like calories in and calories out when it comes to weight loss, like it's one of those types of things where right, I would say you need to be near perfect, right? There's no such thing as perfect. Sometimes you put a little bit more oil in a tablespoon of oil when you're cooking and, extra 10, 20 calories. But I mean, considering that it's 90% accurate and it's cutting off all that friction, because I honestly think, I told you, there is nothing more fucking annoying on the planet than looking at the label of your food, typing it into MyFitnessPal, like every day you're already getting fucking hungry and getting into your kitchen, you want to cook, but now you have to like input everything. Like it's one of the most monotonous, annoying tasks ever. I did it for years because, it was the only, that was just before Cali or anything like that. And so I kind of learned to have like a visual myself. I got a little Cali in my brain already.
Yep. You get good at intuitive eating.
Yeah. And so, it's great to hear that because, I mean, a lot of people have accused you guys, it's just a scam for fat people to lose weight.
Yeah. And, listen, I totally hear and understand the arguments. And I think that it often comes from the science-based weightlifting community and bodybuilders who are like 90% accuracy is not enough for me to step on stage, which I 100% agree with. I would not recommend using our image scanning feature if you are competing or if you need to be extremely dialed. Now, that said, we have the same food database as well as barcode scanning as the other popular calorie trackers. The reason that we promote the AI image scanning is twofold. One, it's more viral, right? So it's going to do better in social media promos. And then two, it solves this sort of middle ground where I think that there's a ton of people that have tried to do the manual calorie tracking. As you just said, it takes so much time. It's so annoying. And they give up on calorie tracking as a whole because it takes so much time. A lot of these people are very overweight and lack or haven't yet developed within themselves an extremely strong level of discipline. And so what we do is we remove the friction and we increase the probability that they're going to stay committed to the goal in general. A framework that I like to use is don't let perfection be the enemy of improvement, right? Don't let your attempt to be great and perfect stop you from being good. And so what I would always recommend to people is if you have not been able to be consistent with the sort of manual entry, then use the AI scanning to start. You're going to start to understand what sort of macronutrient breakdown exists within different foods. And then it might be easier to make that transition to being more accurate as you reach the tail end of your weight loss or weight gain journey. Growing up, I was very, very skinny, extremely fucking skinny. I have a picture on my Instagram, and I got into weightlifting and calorie tracking, and it improved my life so much. And what I found was that I actually didn't have to be very methodical as I got better at it because I knew the amount of calories that I was eating, and I started to learn my body. And that's really who we developed it for. And so I understand the criticism, I get it. I don't have any hatred towards people that push hate towards us. But what I will say is I think that the hate is misplaced. Yeah. And we've received thousands of messages of people saying I was never able to stay consistent with these other calorie trackers because it was too much effort. But now with Cali, I've lost 20, 40, 50, 100 pounds even.
Yeah, no, and to your point, to give you a more supporting argument here, which I hadn't thought about it tonight you're saying this, and I've spoken to Moose about it a lot, is like, you know, I was very overweight in middle school, high school. And, you know, as you're going through puberty and you're dealing with like body image issues, body dysmorphia, whatever, it'll throw on top, you know, counting calories, weighing yourself as still like a young adult. That can be, like, you know, it's not easy, bro. It's hard to go through that, you know, dealing with insecurity and all these different numbers and stuff like that. And I do think, you know, even if it's 90, not 100% accurate for a fucking middle school or high school, I hadn't thought about this before, to use that tool to track their calories versus, you know, mom, let me get a fucking food scale. Let me get a fucking weight scale.
How are you gonna-
Let me be tracking all these things. When at that time, you know, as important as it is to be healthy, right? You don't need to be fucking perfect. And nowadays, with what we see on social media, most creators just show the best, the perfect side of their lives. They don't know that most of these pictures are edited with Lightroom. They don't know that a lot of these guys are on, you know, supplements and gear and shit like that, versus taking, you know, this like first step of like, let me just gauge an idea of what I'm putting in my body. So I hadn't thought about it before. That is very interesting to look at it from that point of view.
I'll pose this question to you. You know, if you don't have deep knowledge, let's say you're a 16-year-old that's really overweight and you don't have deep knowledge of the caloric breakdown of different foods, and you go to a restaurant, how are you going to track your calories?
Yeah, you're not.
It's impossible. Like, what, are you going to separate every ingredient from your cheeseburger, from your salad? Like, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So the next best option is to try to make sure everything's in view, take the picture, and then you can add a description saying, well, this salad has, you know, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinaigrette dressing. And then I think that an image is probably going to do a lot better than just completely guessing.
Yeah. And I think, you know, it's to that point, bro. We were talking about it before. It's just like, humans are late. What the fuck was that? Sorry, I just heard a noise in the office. There's a ghost. We're like, humans are naturally wired to be comfortable, you know, to be lazy. You know, it's not fun to go fucking do an hour of cardio or to sit there and track your calories. Like naturally, like we want to take the easy route out. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that you eliminate some friction to it and get as close as you can to like the more, you know, like you're eliminating friction and you're getting as close as you can to what, you know, quote unquote, your enemy, MyFitnessPal, is doing. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, no, I think that's unbelievable. And, you know, it's now gotten, how many users have you guys had on it now?
Yeah, we have had well over 10 million people download the app. And, you know, like to some extent, MyFitnessPal is our enemy in that they're a competitor and we want more market share than them. But personally, what I really care about is like, I want everyone to be healthy. Like, it's really something that I care about. And I don't view it so much as like it's a fixed pie and like they have this and we have that. I'm like, fuck it. If more people are able to get their or achieve their fitness goals, I view that as a win. And so, you know, we have hundreds, thousands of copycats. But anyone that's building it that's truly mission driven, trying to provide a tool to help people lose, gain, whatever their fitness goals are, I view as being on our team of increasing the health of the world.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things that I've noticed since AI as well and everything that's been coming out, is that there truly has never been a time in history where there's this much information, these many free tools, this much just anything on how to make healthier choices. Like, it's never been easier, but it also has never been harder, right? Like, everywhere you fucking go, like you drive from here to your fucking crib and where you're at in 20 minutes, you're going to drive past 20 fast food places. You know what I mean? You go to the grocery stores, and like literally the other day I made a video. It's like, you go to a checkout line of Whole Foods. At the checkout line, the last thing you see before you pay for your fucking food is a motherfucking cookie that's the furthest thing from a whole fucking food. You know what I mean? So all these tools, I think, is super, super interesting. I think it's sick. And you know, to be honest, I haven't actually used Cali from how skeptical I've been. And honestly, I just haven't been tracking calories in a while. But I did spend years doing it. But that's sick to see. And, you know, what are kind of like the plans now moving forward? I mean, MrBeast is like...
Yeah, it's big.
It's big.
Yeah, you know, there are two primary fronts for all of these apps that we build, which I think is a good segue into App Mafia in just a moment. But there are two primary fronts. There's continuing to improve the product, make it easier for people to use and make it more accurate, and additionally make it as cheap as possible. That's like, we're $20 to $30 a year, right? It's very cheap compared
ridiculous.
to MyFitnessPal. It's like $20 a month if you don't want to be littered with ads every time you get a log something.
What is that, 1 cent a day?
Yeah.
Or no,
well,
10
it's like
cents
10
a day?
cents. Yeah, just under 10 cents a day.
If you can't afford 10 cents a day, bro, then fucking get off this podcast. Bro.
And then there's distribution, right? So it's working with bigger, more influential, more reputable creators, MrBeast, Alex Eubank, and anyone who's here to join the mission.
Yeah, that's sick. And I think one of the common themes now, moving in a little bit of App Mafia of what you guys have done, right? The main underlying, like the main umbrella of apps and tools you're providing for, like these helping improve these insecurities, right? Whether it's like lack of confidence and gooning, it's losing weight or gaining weight, or it's getting tips on how to look better. Back to this thing of just like looking better, feeling better, getting girls.
It's the goal of life.
That's the goal of life. Yeah. What else do you want? Be healthy, look good, find a partner, or go out and fucking get laid however often you want. Be confident and work at something that you like. Do you think that if people have the term we're in this AI bubble right now? What are we in an AI bubble?
AI bubble can take many forms, right? You can look at the leading model providers, OpenAI, Anthropic. You look at their COGS, you look at their OpEx, and you can say, well, they're spending a lot more than they're making, whatever. But I think I like to try to simplify these sort of these sort of frameworks when I think about it from a macro economic perspective, which is like AI is one of the greatest technological developments throughout human history, and it's gonna improve the world and help provide tools to people, and it's gonna commoditize intelligence, and people are gonna have their personal tutors, doctors. We're gonna have systems where AI can sort of decrease the amount of human labor needed for things, and so bubble is relative to valuations, but overall it's a net positive development for society without a doubt.
Agreed.
You agree with that?
Yeah,
as
completely. Well? I think people said it was a bubble in 2023 because of all these valuations, but it's impacted the world.
People called the internet a bubble in 2000, right?
It's not true. AI is not going away by any means. It's not going away.
Like we obviously saw that wave of like everybody trying to make an AI app and everybody trying to build something, just a slap on AI and raise money. And,
that was a bubble.
Right. So then we see, it's back to the survival of the fittest. Like, sayonara, nice try. You truly didn't have a value-driven mission to help people. Yeah. And so then, you're left with the fucking dogs who are actually innovating, who are actually helping people, and who are actually, building shit that's sick.
I think that there are a few levels here, but like the two core ones are like they're the foundational model providers that are engaging in deep research and training models. And then there's the application layer where we sit, which is, okay, let's take these models and figure out how to apply them to new forms of consumer experience. And this is what we're seeking to teach people how to do, right? Since the advent of the App Store, well over 15 years ago, there were a bunch of players that came in and built these incumbent apps like MyFitnessPal, Duolingo, those sort of products where they've been around and they were built on the existing technology. And now AI has come and it's just vastly expanded this set of products that people can build. And specifically that small teams can build with relatively little cash and resources. And we've kind of cracked this code of how to do it. We've got the App Mafia, but man, there are tens, if not 100 plus other apps making over $100,000 a month that saw what we've done and have just kind of rebuilt the experience for different domains. There are people that have built, Quittr, but for quitting sugar and quitting alcohol. And there are people that have built, Cali, but for scanning supplements. And people that have built, UMAX, but specifically for tailored skincare routines.
Yeah,
for girls.
Yeah.
And I think that the number of applications are virtually endless. It's massively net positive for society as 100%. A whole. And we want to teach more and more people to build. More software is better. Like they're just tools for human improvement. And we want to share this sort of playbook with the world.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, because I was really just like my question overall is just like, do you think the opportunity is going to start to like decrease, and like do you think, are we going to still see like a lot of these like new solutions come to certain problems using AI on apps, specifically on apps?
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
And one of the great things is that the more that people build, the cheaper the products become for people, right? So AI chat, basic chat interface has been commoditized. And therefore you can use ChatGPT and Grok and Meta AI and all these different products. You can use it for free. Now the sort of more specific narrow applications such as AI calorie tracking, fitness goals, Looksmaxing, quitting porn,
You got one for nail biting? I've been biting my nails.
Yeah, that probably is.
I've been biting my nails for 15 years, bro.
Oh wow.
I swear to God, bro. It's like since I was little. So I was like 12 or 11. I've been biting my nails every fucking day.
Just search nail biting on the App Store. I'm sure you'll find something.
I'll switch it up. Maybe do a little something. Not kidding.
So yeah, I mean, the more people that are building in the space, the cheaper it becomes for consumers, and the more that we have software that can help people improve themselves across all these different domains.
And that's the mission. That's the message. And
Yeah.
you could do all of this when you're young, bro.
And you can also do all of it while making money without, like, it's not scamming people.
Right.
You know, like, you build a product, you share it with the world, and people are going to pay you for the product because the product helps them improve their life, right? This is positive sum.
I've said this.
This is capitalism
This is
at work.
it's the best feeling when you're helping millions of people and making millions of dollars at the same
You get a
fucking
message
time.
saying I was addicted to jerking off for my entire fucking life and it was debilitating, and then I downloaded Quittr and it gave me the sense of accountability and discipline to get over it, and now it leads
That's
to
priceless.
it's
Yeah, it's
priceless.
crazy.
It's
There's
amazing.
it's like the same thing when like I get a DM from someone just telling me like, oh, like you motivated me to like improve my life and you fucking make me laugh and do all these different things. Like all like that goes so far beyond like
Exactly.
the money that comes along with it. But
And how much more
Yeah, like
positive?
you preach a cool message, which is like you can simultaneously have fun and also yet still work on yourself and exercise and like have your periods for both in life, which makes it much more accessible to people. Exercise more accessible, for example, to people that do go out, and maybe they go out and they're lazy afterwards, whatever, and they see you and they're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get back into it. Like I can have these different stages. I can have fun while also working on myself at the same time.
Yeah.
100%, yeah, that's the balanced lifestyle motto, baby.
Exactly.
Striving for
And
it.
how much more positive is like building apps that help people than just like trading on the stock market, you know,
Yeah.
or buying crypto coins. Like actually contribute. Big picture, way better for society.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. You know, I mean, TJR has a pretty damn good life, so I don't know how much he gives a no, but I'm just kidding. But, you know, yeah, the next thing that I wanted to ask you guys about was, right, you guys are doing good. What about the people who want to do bad with AI?
Yeah,
Who's doing bad? Because I know I've seen that there's.
they're nefarious actors.
But what about someone who wants to create a fucking AI 10 out of 10 Russian chick who can freaking schlob my corn cob in the middle of the night and it's like $4,000 and I can buy it in 3 years and she's just chilling in my apartment?
Yeah, you know, it's hard. I have been actually trying recently to not pass too much judgment on the actions of others. So even like things like trading in crypto in the past, I've kind of been like, fuck those industries, blah, blah, blah. Even now I'll still say it because it's like a little bit viral, whatever. But I like capitalism. I think that the free market is a good thing and that the market of ideas is a good thing. And while I think that shit is bad, it's hard because, you know, you scroll back 20 years, you look at gaming, right? Gaming was, you know, got a lot of shit and has still gotten a lot of shit as being bad for society. People spend a ton of time playing video games and it's like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. But gaming is actually what has led to the advancement of AI. Gaming created the economic incentive for the development of GPUs, which are just really good at matrix multiplication, which have enabled us to build these sort of emergent, incredibly intelligent large language models. We would not have had the same level of investment in GPU technology had it not been for the gaming industry. Now, when it comes to the people doing bad by creating these porn models, I don't fuck with it personally. I would encourage people not to do it. And yet at the same time, who knows? Maybe there's some sort of insane emergent result that leads to technological advancement of the human race as a whole. So, you know, I don't like it on an individual basis, and yet at the same time, I like to try my best not to pass too much judgment.
Yeah, I think, you know, seeing people do bad shit and stupid shit will only like teach us, you know, other ways and methods of like, you know, what to avoid, you know, what other good solutions can we bring. It's impossible. There's no such thing as just an all, you know, fucking sunshine, rainbows, and positive solutions. You know what I mean? There's got to be some fucking, some negative
Yeah.
or, you know, fucked up shit to happen.
Yeah, the best way to combat it, you see something like that, you don't like it, you don't like the state of the porn industry, you know, let the people in the positions of in the legislature pass the laws against it. But you as an individual, the best thing you can do is go build Quittr and go teach people that they shouldn't watch it and correct bad information with better information. Right? We don't need to be the policeman of what people do. We'll let the government take care of that. We can just be the efficient market operators that help to correct it through better information.
Solid.
Spot fucking on. And now moving, I kind of now segue in a bit into App Mafia. You know, and before we get to that, I think one of the things that people are probably curious about, you know, aside from looking into the products you guys have built and, you know, and what's going on with the state of AI and all that, you know, it's like when you think of tech, when you think of AI, and when you think of building apps, first thing that would come to my mind a while back is you need to be a fucking rocket scientist genius, right? And it seems like ChatGPT and using it as a tutor to learn how to code and doing all these things has completely changed that, right? Like, how would you go? Like, what would you guys say is like? Obviously, you're both very intelligent fucking guys who work hard and stuff. Like, for somebody out there who's watching this that's inspired or maybe wants to make an app, you know, like what we're about to talk about in App Mafia and what you guys are going to teach people, like, what do you think are like some of the main things that allowed you to like sit down and not just try and build me an app, you know, like, besides, and having a passion as well for this is and wanting to help is big. But you get kind of where I'm getting at with this.
Yeah.
You don't need to be you're not a rocket scientist.
Of course not.
You're a normal dude who fucking cared about being healthy and want to make more people healthy and build Cali. And same thing goes, you know, I don't know if you're a gooner or if we're, but you clearly see that there's a problem with this. And even just like a business visionary of like, oh, there's opportunity here. Like, what do you think is like the number one thing that allowed you to see these opportunities and take them on?
I'll touch on this and then you want to take it after. Okay, so I think that there are 2 points I want to touch on here. In terms of problem identification, I'm a big believer in like find the problems that you or the people close to you experience, do the market research, identify the key pain points, and then look at what other apps in similar industries do and figure out how to build a solution for the very specific problem. So for us, we really care about self-improvement. It's something that we've engaged in and studied the content of for me, like over a decade now, since I was a teenager, been reading self-help books and whatever it may be. So that's on the problem identification standpoint. And then in terms of the tangible skill set that you need, like we didn't have hard skills going into this. I've actually IQ tested a number of people that I've worked with.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, because I wanted the data. I wanted to see what made people effective operators and whatnot to build this sort of like a paradigm for like who I hire and work with in the future. And what I found actually is not that, having 130 plus IQ is requisite to attaining success in this space. In fact, I found people that have as low IQs as like around 100 that have built very successful apps. And so if you are like very below intelligence, it's going to be very difficult because I do think that there is some level of intellect that's required to, because there is some amount of technical or technological, sort of understanding that you need to have. But beyond that, it's really a problem of agency. You need to figure out where to identify the right information, how to assess the core problems, and then see what has worked in the past, use other apps as case studies, and then kind of rebuild and take what has worked and then apply it to your novel solution on the product side. And then marketing is as simple as identify the correct creators, identify the correct hooks for UGC, create the content, put it out into the world, and continue to iterate and double down on what works, drive people to your app. And then ideally, you provide value to people and you get paid in the process.
Yeah. My take is like, again, we're not rocket scientists. We weren't extremely technical at coding. We started somewhere. We sucked at first for many months, many years, but we figured it out and we learned a lot of lessons. And, all the information that you need to know to achieve the things you want is out there on the internet through GPT. You just need to go out and find it.
And through App Mafia.
And through App Mafia. And if you want to get into ads specifically, the beautiful thing about it is everything is open sourced. If you want to see CaliAI's exact funnel and how they make $3.5 million a month, just download their app. Mm-hmm. Search CaliAI on TikTok. It's all there. That's everything. That's what the consumer experience is, and the consumer is the person that pays.
And like, final point here, within App Mafia, what we've realized is we get DMs all the time of people trying to figure out this information in a structured manner, but we never had the economic incentive to create a structured course with over 10 hours of content where we're diligently planning out the different modules, right? So we have like, starts with ideation and then design, development, and distribution. We never had the economic incentive to spend tens of hours producing it. And that's when we all looked at each other and we were like, fuck it, we should do this. We should create this content because it's a black box to a lot of people. And if we can structure this and show them step by step what our exact process is, this will push the entire industry forward and ideally make the massive amount of market opportunity that exists within the space accessible to everybody that wants to purchase our course.
Appmafia.com.
And I mean, it's great that, I mean, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, he's selling a course, but like, I mean, you've heard what these motherfuckers have done. You know what I mean? Like, clearly, like, they know what they're doing. And like there's a lot of bullshit courses out there, right? And there's also a lot of good ones. I mean, it sounds like, I mean, how long have you guys been working on this course? Like
few weeks.
Few weeks?
Yeah.
So not that long. I mean, obviously, the coursework itself has been done over the years while
Right,
building these projects.
All of the
now
lessons,
it's compiling the
education.
processes.
It is all just existing within here, and then it's like, all right, now let's structure this and make it tangible.
Right.
And so for anyone watching this, we should be launching in 2 days. So this
From Thursday?
Yeah. So this Saturday, the 23rd.
Okay. Nice. And this is on appmafia.com.
Yeah, appmafia.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter.
How much did you pay for that URL?
About 10K. So on Instagram, my handle is BWA. On Twitter, or x.com, my handle is Blake Anderson W.
Yeah, I'm at Alex Slater on Instagram, and then at Alex Slater with 2 L's on Twitter.
And then at appmafia_ on Twitter, or once again, just appmafia.com.
And how is this going to be a monthly recurring course? Is it going to be a one-time buy / here's the full package, and you will be able to know exactly what we did in order to build Cali, in order to build Quittr, in order to build these other apps?
$2,500 for access to well over 10 hours of course content, and we're going to continue to provide new case studies and information, most likely maybe like on a monthly basis. We just update with like what's the new state of the art, and we'll just kind of add that in.
So and they'll be able to. So now you guys are the friction cutting kings.
Dude.
So instead of having to spend the thousands, the hundreds of hours you spent asking ChatGPT to tutor you, teach you how to code and build an app, you're going to tell them exactly how to do it even quicker.
Let me share this real quick. This is fucking crazy. The background of people that have worked with me, what they've gone on to do. Two people, Alex and Evan, that I work with on RizGPT. They went on to found their own app studio. They do tens of millions of dollars a year in revenue right now. Sarthik, my CTO from UMAX. Sarthik took the playbook, love him. He went to build with Rudy TurboLearn, which I believe is tracking for over $10 million this year as well. Sebastian Turner went on to build Raise, and then a new product, which I don't know if
he's public about it now.
Oh, he's public? Okay. Yeah. Went on to build Claimed, which is doing over $10 million a year in revenue right now.
You guys got, I mean,
hold on,
there's no longer no public. You guys, everybody's got to
go. Nate, who worked with me on 10X briefly. Nate just built an app that's doing over $50,000 a month. I just got a text from a kid yesterday who said his studio just hit over 100,000 downloads, which is probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue. The list goes on and on. I believe I've got like 5 more here of people that either have just had conversations with me, watch my content, or worked with me briefly that have gone on and are now multimillionaires just on the basis of seeing this playbook and running it up themselves. I mean, even Alex and Connor, right? They saw what Zach and I were doing with Cali. They went and ran it up themselves. So, I mean, it's
So now we're giving that information and source to you.
$2,500 by the course.
But it's $2,500 to make millions of dollars, or the opportunity of making millions of dollars.
Yeah, no guarantees.
No guarantees.
But like, man, if
I think it's the first time someone's ever fucking tried to started selling their course on the pod.
Dude, we're new to this space.
Yeah, no, it's sick, dude. You know, honestly, like, I probably wouldn't ever allow anyone to fucking, do something like that. But because clearly you guys aren't bullshitters, and I've seen what you guys have done, and like, it's really fucking cool. And like, if someone's out there is not making content, I think, making content, getting in the internet, or building shit like what you guys are doing, I feel like those are some of the most interesting opportunities in the world right now. So that's fucking sick. That's really
Thank you,
sick.
brother.
They're getting A to Z.
Yeah. It's literally it's just our process, how we go from coming up with the idea to designing the product to developing it to doing distribution. It's just like we are not withholding any information, anything that is relevant, important, and that we think is top of mind. That any recommendation that we ever give to others or that we implement within our own businesses, we are sharing.
That's fucking fantastic.
Thanks.
I got a few other questions that just lingered in my mind though. But I mean, first of all, thank you guys for coming on and sharing all this
Thanks for
awesome
having us,
information.
dude.
And yeah, at the end, in a few moments here, maybe you'll give away one course or whatever you want. You
Yeah.
don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah, no, we'll do that right now. For one person that's watching this podcast,
That's made it all the way to this point.
DM on App Mafia.
Yeah.
So DM App Mafia
And
_ on x.com. So x.com/App Mafia _ Follow us, shoot us a DM, explain who you are and why you want the free course, and maybe why you can't pay for it if that's relevant. We will be giving away more to people that can't afford it, but people that really want to get into software. We are actually mission driven on making this information as accessible as possible. We're going to give away one free access to a listener of the Daddy Wellness or TSL podcast.
Let's fucking go.
Just
That's
say
awesome.
like -TSL -Daddy Wellness, whatever.
Lit. Fucking awesome. Yeah, so now I'm thinking to myself, you guys, it's 4 of you living in this fucking 40 grand a month house.
Five.
Plus
of you.
Jude.
How much nicotine is flowing through this household as you guys are fucking cranking away at these apps?
Dude, it's cyclical for me. It's cyclical. I definitely I drink once a week. Sometimes do some other drugs as well. But
Are you like Elon, where you're like fucking boofing ket and doing ecstasy?
no, Coke is definitely my my drug of choice. Dude, I commented on Sush made a post the other day. It was hilarious, talking about wearing like the Garmin watch or maybe yesterday wearing the Garmin watch going out. Dude, I'll share this. I don't really care. Dude, I went out with my boys a few weeks ago back in San Diego, had the Garmin on. Dude, my heart rate was over 130 for 12 hours straight.
Oh
it was
my
fucking crazy. Yo, one of my buddies ended up, this is really bad. I don't promote drugs.
Maybe
Don't do what's bad.
maybe if you ever try and raise money, this could be a problem. But
No, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
One of my buddies, dude, he ended the night with a fucking seizure because he did so much.
that's not good.
Crazy, very bad,
insane.
very
Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are very bad. But nicotine, cyclical. I haven't really been doing it much recently, but we do love Lucy. Shout out the founders. Shout out John Coogan. Shout out TSL sponsorship.
Yeah, fucking Lucy's the best. We gotta
Yeah,
love
it's
Lucy.
great.
That's
Yeah.
your pouch of choice?
Yeah, for sure.
Those are really good.
Zin's a little bit more accessible, like
Yeah.
in every gas station, but Lucy's the go-to.
Yeah, they've been crushing it. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like let's talk about like stereotypical tech nerds and developers and shit. Like we're thinking Adderall, we're thinking nicotine, we're thinking coffee, we're thinking just like Doritos on your fucking desk and shit and all that stuff.
No.
Like, what's it like living in a house? How much do you think your efficiency has gone up moving in together as the fucking mafia?
You know what?
You guys want to kill each other yet?
Yeah. Working with a new team's always hard, but we're getting there. Like we're getting into flow. We have a private chef who cooks for us. We're very dialed in terms of diet, exercise. Training for an Ironman right now.
No way.
Yeah. Got it in about 12 weeks. Just did a marathon 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, not as efficient as we want to be, but we're getting up there.
Yeah, you just moved in.
Yeah, exactly. We're having like the honeymoon phase.
Of course,
And we just
exactly.
threw a massive party, roll the clip.
Yeah. A little
so-
clip up there.
We had to recover from that, but hey, we're getting back into things.
Yeah, I mean that's what you mean. Just moving to Miami, you're in a new crib. Obviously, you're seeing so much success. You got to enjoy the fruits of your labor a bit, you know.
You know what? That's kind of what we're trying to promote in the content as well. Like we all are pretty successful, but we also live just fun lives.
ass life, dude.
Yeah,
So
well,
fun.
like look at the fucking. I mean, we've seen this recurring theme. I'm moving into a house with Moose, my brother, who's Pat, my brother. I don't know if you know PB Trading.
Yeah.
We're all moving to.
Oh
this
no,
house
wait.
and-
We were. Who was speaking to him? Zach?
Yeah.
Or Connor? Someone was talking to your brother the other day.
Or maybe PB Investing.
Oh,
They're
PB Investing, two different.
people.
PB Trading is my brother, but I don't know about PB Investing. Probably might be similar.
Okay.
I haven't heard of investing, but official PB Trading is my brother. Whatever. We're moving into this house, and we're super excited for it. Which would be sick. So I mean, you've seen like these, like you saw FaZe live together.
Yeah.
It's so fun,
What
dude.
they did. You saw
so
like
fun.
the Hype House. You see like even the fucking Bop House. Like Jesus Christ. Like those are
say-
the arch nemesis
Yeah,
of
yeah,
fucking Quittr and shit.
We're actually gonna visit the Bop House soon, like the Quittr team.
That'll be hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
All this shit, like, dude, really, like, and I spoke about this to my friend Ben as well, like with Olive and what they're doing with
Mm-hmm.
apps and stuff. It's like, it's obviously it's very hard to go from doing what you're doing to like making content, but I think that's what will make it so interesting because like if you can just eat the fucking I mean, dude, we were just vlogging on the way up here. Like people, this is in like at least I am someone who has like obviously I'm interested in the space, right? But like this is really interesting because this is a completely new age. Right. You know what I mean? Young fuckers who don't have all this coding experience using these tools to build incredible things and seeing like this like kind of reality TV show-esque style thing would be fucking unbelievable.
That's
You guys have if you don't do it, I really do think
no, we're gonna be
it's
doing a
lost opportunity.
vlog every other week, probably around an hour per vlog.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
Just like the madness of what's going on in the house.
Exactly.
You know?
And just doing fun shit.
Whip around the Rari.
Yeah, seriously.
I told you earlier, like we have all the recipes for success. Like there's just
we just need to figure out like that. We just need to. It's a skill, the same way that building an app is a skill. I think content's a skill, and we just need to train that muscle and build.
I mean,
it
you guys
up.
did. This has been a fantastic time on the podcast.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Great speakers, and it's been fucking sick. I actually learned so much.
Thank you.
And I hope anyone who if you made it this far into the fucking podcast, shout out to you and thanks for tuning in. And do you guys have any final things you may want to leave the people with aside from in 2 days from now they're going to be dropping the fucking sauce. So
nothing from me, dude. It was great. Like you're a great podcast host. I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope that everybody enjoyed.
I'll say just like watch this space. I'm gonna try and blow the internet away and kind of create this brand new industry. And you're hearing it here first on the Daddy Wellness podcast. You guys are early, good stuff.
Traditionally, tech has been inaccessible to the masses, and we're looking to make it something that everybody can get into.
Fuck yeah.